Life will test you, people will doubt you, challenges will rise like waves trying to knock you down. But here's the truth, you have a choice. You can let the world shake you, or you can stand tall like a mountain, unmoved, unshaken, unbothered. When they criticize you, act as if their words are nothing but whispers in the wind. When they betray you, act as if you expected it. When life throws obstacles in your way, act as if you already knew they were coming, and then walk right through them. This is not about pretending. This is about power. When you act as if nothing affects you, you train your mind to rise above the noise. You stop giving power to negativity. You stop reacting, and instead, you start controlling. Weakness reacts. Strength remains calm. The strongest people in this world are not the ones who never face struggles. They are the ones who face them head on without flinching. When they don't beg for understanding, they don't seek approval. They don't waste time explaining themselves. They move in silence. They work in private, and they let their results do the talking. So when life tries to shake you, straighten your back and lift your chin. When people expect you to fall apart, smile. When they try to bring you down, rise higher. Because the moment you stop letting things affect you, you become untouchable. Act as if nothing affects you, because when you do, eventually, nothing will. Life is unpredictable. People will test you. Circumstances will challenge you. And in those moments, you have two choices. React emotionally and let the situation control you, or remain calm and take charge of your own response. The difference between those who crumble under pressure and those who rise above it is not in what happens to them, but in how they respond. If you allow every little thing to shake you, you'll never stand tall. If you let emotions dictate your actions, you'll always be at the mercy of the world around you. But when you learn to control your reactions, you become untouchable. Imagine walking into a room where people are whispering about you. You hear the murmurs, the sideways glances, the judgment in their eyes. Most people would feel the sting of embarrassment, the heat of anger rising in their chest. They'd lash out, defend themselves, or walk away feeling defeated. But not you. You act as if you don't hear a thing. You walk with the same confidence, the same energy, as if their words are nothing more than the wind passing by. That's power. That's strength. Because the moment you react, you give them exactly what they want, your energy. And when you lose control of your energy, you lose control of yourself. There will always be people who want to provoke a reaction out of you. They feed on drama, they live for conflict, and they find satisfaction in knowing they've gotten under your skin. The second you snap, argue, or show frustration, you've given them victory. But when you remain calm, when you refuse to engage, you strip them of their power. You show them that their words mean nothing, that their actions have no effect, and eventually they'll realize they can't touch you. But controlling your reactions isn't just about dealing with people, it's about handling life itself. Problems will come, stress will knock at your door. Things won't always go as planned, but how you respond in those moments will determine everything. Some people panic at the first sign of trouble. They overthink, stress, and let fear dictate their next move. But those who master their reactions understand one thing. Chaos is temporary, but your response lasts forever. Think about it. Every great leader, every successful person, every individual who has accomplished something extraordinary has one thing in common. They don't let their emotions dictate their actions. They stay composed under pressure. They make decisions based on logic, not impulse. And because of that, they stay in control when others fall apart. When you learn to control your reactions, you gain the ability to navigate life without unnecessary stress. You no longer get worked up over things that don't matter. You stop wasting energy on things you can't change. You become the kind of person who, no matter what happens, remains steady, focused, and in control. It's easy to react when emotions are high. When someone disrespects you, the natural instinct is to retaliate. When things go wrong, the immediate response is frustration. But power comes in restraint. Strength comes in knowing that your energy is too valuable to be wasted on things that don't serve you. When you stay calm in situations that used to trigger you, that's growth. When you stop letting negativity pull you down, that's evolution. Look at the people who constantly react to everything. They're always frustrated, always offended, always caught up in something that drains them. They live in a cycle of emotional exhaustion where every small inconvenience feels like a disaster. And because of that, they never have the clarity to move forward. But those who control their reactions, they have peace. They have focus. They have an advantage. Think of a fighter in the ring, the one who throws wild punches, who lets their emotions take over, who fights with anger. They get tired, they lose strategy, they leave themselves open for attack. But the one who stays calm, who moves with precision, who doesn't let their emotions control them, that's the one who wins. Life is the same. The more you react emotionally, The more you expose yourself to unnecessary pain, the more you let outside forces dictate your mood, the less control you have over your own life. When you control your reactions, you send a message not just to others, but to yourself. You tell yourself that you are in charge, that no one and nothing has the power to disrupt your peace, that you are the master of your emotions, not the other way around. And the more you reinforce that belief, the stronger it becomes. Eventually, it's no longer an act, it's who you are. This kind of mindset changes everything. It shifts how you handle relationships, how you deal with setbacks, how you approach every single challenge in life. When someone criticizes you, you don't get defensive. You take what's useful and disregard the rest. When you face failure, you don't dwell on it. You learn and keep moving. When unexpected problems arise, you don't panic, you adapt. This is the kind of control that separates those who succeed from those who stay stuck. And here's the truth, most people will never master this. Most people will continue reacting to every little thing. They'll waste energy on battles that don't matter. They'll live in a constant state of stress because they haven't learned the art of composure. But if you can train yourself to stay calm in moments where others would break, you'll have an advantage that is rare. You'll be unstoppable in ways most people can't even imagine. But make no mistake, this isn't about suppressing emotions. It's not about pretending nothing bothers you while secretly seething inside. It's about redirecting your energy. Instead of reacting out of impulse, you pause, you assess, you decide whether or not something is even worth your attention. You take control of your own mind instead of letting circumstances dictate your state. Think about the most successful, powerful, and influential people in history. Did they get there by reacting to every little thing? No. They had a vision bigger than their emotions. They had self-control that allowed them to make calculated moves instead of emotional decisions. They understood that power is in restraint, not reaction. If you want to elevate your life, this is non-negotiable. You must master the art of staying calm. You must train yourself to remain unaffected by things that don't matter. You must develop a level of emotional discipline that allows you to stay focused no matter what's happening around you. Because here's the truth, life is always going to throw challenges your way. People are always going to test you. There will always be moments where you feel like lashing out, like reacting, like letting emotions take over. But every time you do, you lose a little bit of your power. And every time you resist, you gain a little more control. So make a decision today. Decide that from this moment forward, you will not be controlled by anything outside of yourself. You will not allow temporary emotions to dictate permanent actions. You will not give your energy to things that don't deserve it. Instead, you will stay focused. You will stay composed. You will act as if nothing affects you. Until one day, nothing does. Power is not taken from you. It is given away. Every time you react to negativity, you hand over a piece of your power. Every time you let someone's words dictate your emotions, you surrender control. Every time you allow circumstances to throw you off course, you weaken yourself. The world is full of people who will try to test you, situations that will try to break you, and moments that will challenge your strength. But the truth is, nothing has power over you unless you allow it. Think about how many times in life you've given someone control over your emotions. Maybe someone said something that upset you, and instead of brushing it off, you let it ruin your day. Maybe someone treated you unfairly, and instead of moving forward, you held on to resentment. Maybe a situation didn't go as planned, and instead of adapting, you let frustration consume you. All of these moments have one thing in common. You gave away your power. You allowed something external to dictate your internal state. But imagine if you stopped. Imagine if nothing could touch you unless you allowed it to. Imagine if you could walk through life completely unshaken, unbothered, untouchable. That is real power. The problem is, most people live in a constant state of emotional slavery. They are controlled by their surroundings, their past, their fears, their need for validation. They react to every little thing, never realizing that every reaction is a transaction. Every time they engage with negativity, they are paying for it with their own energy. But here's the truth. Energy is your most valuable asset, and once you start treating it as such, you'll stop giving it away so easily. You'll stop wasting it on things that don't matter. You'll stop feeding into negativity. You'll stop giving people and situations the ability to drain you. It's a harsh truth, but most of the suffering people experience is self-inflicted. They dwell on things they cannot change. They hold on to past pain like a badge of honor. They let minor inconveniences ruin their peace. And the reason this happens is simple. They have not taken full ownership of their own power. Because when you truly own your power, nothing outside of you can shake you. When you stop giving it away, you become unbreakable. Imagine walking into a room and sensing that someone doesn't like you. Most people would feel uncomfortable. They'd shrink themselves, seek approval, try to prove their worth. But for what? For the validation of someone who adds no real value to their life? That is giving away power. Real power is walking into that room, standing tall, and knowing that whether they like you or not is irrelevant, because your worth is not up for debate. Think about the arguments you've had in the past, the ones that left you drained, frustrated, exhausted. Now ask yourself, was it worth it? Was proving your point to someone who was never going to understand really worth your energy? Was defending yourself against someone who already made up their mind worth losing your peace? Most of the time the answer is no, and yet people continue to engage in battles that don't serve them, wasting time, draining energy, giving away power. But when you realize that not every battle needs to be fought, that not every comment needs a response, that not every situation deserves your attention, you regain control. You choose where your energy goes, and that is what makes you powerful. It's not just about people, it's about life itself. Life will throw problems at you, it will challenge you, it will test you. And every time something doesn't go your way, you have two choices. You can react emotionally, or you can stay in control. Most people choose the first option. They stress, they panic, they get angry, they blame others, and in doing so, they give away their power. But the strong ones, the ones who understand the value of control, they choose differently. They take a step back, they assess, they adapt. They do not let circumstances dictate their peace. Because here's what most people don't realize. Every time you react impulsively, you are being controlled. If someone can push a button and get a reaction out of you, they own you in that moment. If life can throw an obstacle in your path and it breaks you, then you were never in control to begin with. But if you remain calm, if you refuse to be shaken, if you act as if nothing affects you, you win. You win because you show that nothing outside of you has the ability to disturb your inner world. This level of power does not come easily. It requires discipline. It requires patience. It requires a deep understanding that your energy is your responsibility, that no one can take it from you unless you allow them to. That no situation, no person, no event should have the ability to dictate how you feel unless you choose to let it. Look at the strongest, most successful people in the world. Do they waste time arguing with those who doubt them? Do they allow small inconveniences to shake them? Do they spend energy on things that do not contribute to their growth? No. They remain focused. They remain in control. They understand that power is not in reacting, but in choosing when and where to invest their energy. But here's where most people struggle. They believe that not reacting means weakness, that staying silent means surrender, that walking away means losing. But the reality is the opposite. True strength is in restraint. True power is in knowing that your peace is worth more than temporary satisfaction. Walking away from a pointless argument is not weakness, it's wisdom. Not engaging with negativity is not avoidance, it's self-mastery. Choosing silence over unnecessary conflict is not defeat, it's power. And once you master this, everything changes. Your relationships change because you no longer allow toxic people to drain you. Your confidence changes because you no longer seek validation from those who don't matter. Your success changes because you stop wasting time on distractions and start focusing on what truly matters. When you stop giving away your power, you start living life on your own terms. But the reality is, most people will never reach this level of control. Most people will continue to react to everything. They will continue to argue, to defend, to waste energy on things that don't matter. They will continue to give their power away without even realizing it. And they will wonder why they feel exhausted, why they feel stuck, why they feel like they have no control over their lives. But if you are willing to do the work, if you are willing to develop the discipline to protect your energy at all costs, then you will rise above. You will move differently. You will carry yourself with a level of strength that few can match. You will no longer be a slave to your emotions, to people's opinions, to life's unexpected challenges. You will be the one in control. And that is the difference between those who live at the mercy of the world and those who command their world. The ones who react to everything remain powerless. The ones who stay in control remain unstoppable. So ask yourself, who do you want to be? The person who gives their power away to every little thing, or the person who holds on to it no matter what? The choice is yours. It always has been, but most people do the opposite. They talk about their goals before they've even taken the first step. They announce their plans before they've put in the work. They seek validation, hoping that by telling others what they're going to do, they'll feel a sense of accomplishment. But talk means nothing without action. Words don't build empires. Boasting doesn't create success. The only thing that matters is execution. The only thing that speaks louder than words is results. When you move in silence, you remove distractions. You eliminate the unnecessary noise. You focus all your energy on what actually matters, taking action. Because every time you speak about your plans, you open the door for doubt, criticism, and negativity. Not everyone wants to see you win. Some will pretend to support you while secretly hoping you fail. Others will project their own fears onto you, telling you why your dreams are impossible, and if you're not careful, their words will seep into your mind and poison your belief. But when you move in silence, you protect yourself. You keep your vision pure. You allow your work to speak for itself, and by the time people realize what you've been doing, it's already too late for them to stop you. Success doesn't need an announcement. It doesn't need validation. It doesn't need permission. The most powerful moves are made without warning. The greatest transformations happen when no one is watching. Think about the people who have surprised the world with their success. They weren't the ones constantly talking about what they were going to do. They were the ones grinding behind the scenes, silently building, patiently waiting, and then one day they arrived. And when they did, no one could deny their greatness. But moving in silence is not just about success. It's about control. It's about discipline. It's about knowing that your energy is too valuable to be wasted on meaningless conversations and empty validation. When you talk too much about your goals, you trick yourself into thinking you've already accomplished something. The brain releases dopamine when you share your dreams, making you feel as if you're making progress when in reality, you've done nothing. That's why so many people stay stuck. They talk, they get a temporary high, but they never follow through. They've already received the reward of validation, so they lose the drive to put in the real work. But the ones who move in silence, they don't seek the high of talking, they seek the high of doing. Moving in silence also eliminates unnecessary pressure. When you announce your plans to the world, you invite expectations. You create a situation where people are watching, waiting for you to succeed or fail. And if you don't achieve your goal as quickly as you expected, that pressure can weigh you down. But when you keep things to yourself, you move on your own terms. You have the freedom to pivot, to change direction, to make mistakes without an audience judging you. You focus purely on the work, and that is where real growth happens. Think of a seed planted in the ground. It doesn't shout about its growth. It doesn't seek attention. It simply takes in the nutrients it needs, strengthens its roots, and grows in silence. And then one day it breaks through the surface, strong, unshakable, undeniable. That is how success should be. Silent, steady, inevitable. But this mindset is rare. In today's world, people are addicted to attention. They want instant recognition. They want likes, comments, validation before they've even earned it. Social media has created a culture where people feel the need to document every move, to share every small win, to seek approval before they even begin. But that is a trap. That is a distraction. The ones who truly rise above are the ones who resist the urge to seek validation. They understand that their work is not meant to be public until it is undeniable, and when the results speak, they speak louder than anything else. They silence critics. They eliminate doubt. They make people pay attention without you ever having to demand it. Because real success doesn't need an introduction. It doesn't need an explanation. When you've put in the work, when you've built something of value, when you've dedicated yourself to mastery, your results will say everything that needs to be said. This is why patience is key. People want instant recognition, but the ones who truly achieve greatness understand that the best things take time. They don't rush the process. They don't seek shortcuts. They put in the hours. They develop their skills. They build their foundation so strong that when they finally reveal their work, there is no denying their excellence. There's a reason the most successful people don't explain themselves. They don't waste time justifying their actions. They don't feel the need to prove anything to anyone, because they know that at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is what they produce. People may doubt you in the beginning. They may question your abilities. They may dismiss your vision. But when the results come, their opinions become irrelevant. The same people who doubted you will be the ones asking how you did it. The same ones who ignored you will suddenly want to be associated with you. That is the power of letting your work speak for itself. But you must have the discipline to stay silent, to resist the urge to explain. to focus on execution rather than validation, because the moment you start talking, you shift energy away from the work, you create unnecessary distractions, you invite negativity that was never needed. But when you keep your head down and do the work, you remain untouchable. And this is what separates those who succeed from those who stay stuck. The ones who stay stuck are the ones who talk too much, who seek too much approval, who waste too much time explaining instead of executing. The ones who succeed are the ones who understand that movement is more important than words, that action is greater than talk, that results are the only proof that matters. So if you truly want to rise, stop announcing your every move. Stop looking for approval. Stop explaining yourself. Move in silence. Work in private. Let your results be so undeniable that they do all the talking for you. Confidence is not something you are born with. It is something you build. It is a decision, a choice, a way of being that you commit to every single day. Confidence is not about being the loudest person in the room. It's not about arrogance. It's not about seeking attention, and it's not about proving anything to anyone. Real confidence is quiet. It is unshakable. It is the deep, unbreakable belief that no matter what happens, no matter who doubts you, no matter what challenges come your way, you will rise above. It is understanding that your value is not determined by anyone else, that your worth is not up for debate, and that nothing outside of you has the power to define who you are. Most people don't have confidence because they wait for the world to give it to them. They wait for validation, they wait for success, they wait for permission. But confidence is not something that is handed to you. It is something you take. It is something you decide to embody before you have any external proof. It is walking into a room and knowing you belong there, even if no one acknowledges you. It is speaking your mind, even when your voice shakes. It is taking action, even when fear tries to hold you back. Confidence is built through action, through repetition, through proving to yourself that you are capable. The reason most people lack confidence is that they base their self-worth on external factors. They need people to like them, to approve of them, to validate their choices in order to feel good about themselves, and that is the quickest way to remain weak. Because the second you give others the power to define you, you also give them the power to destroy you. If your confidence comes from people's approval, what happens when they take it away? If your confidence is based on success, what happens when you face failure? If your confidence is rooted in how others see you, what happens when their perception changes? That is not confidence, that is dependency. And true confidence comes from within. There will be moments in life when you feel doubt creeping in, when your mind tries to convince you that you're not good enough, not smart enough, not capable enough. That is when confidence matters the most. It is easy to feel strong when everything is going your way, but confidence is forged in the moments of uncertainty, in the moments where fear tries to take over, in the moments where you feel like giving up but choose to keep going anyway. It is built in the silence, in the unseen hours, in the effort that no one applauds. Because confidence is not about what you tell others, it's about what you tell yourself. It's about how you carry yourself when no one is watching. It's about knowing deep in your core that no matter what life throws at you, you can handle it. Most people seek confidence in the wrong places. They think it comes from looking a certain way, from having a certain level of success, from being liked by others. But confidence is not external. It is not something you put on like an outfit. It is an internal state of being, a mindset that cannot be shaken by anything outside of you. True confidence is walking into any situation with the belief that you can figure it out. It is trusting yourself, even when the path ahead is unclear. It is knowing that failure is not the end, but simply a step towards success. It is understanding that nothing and no one has the power to break you unless you allow it. The key to building unshakable confidence is keeping the promises you make to yourself. Every time you say you're going to do something and you follow through, you build trust in yourself. Every time you push past fear and take action, you prove to yourself that you are capable. Every time you refuse to let self-doubt stop you, you strengthen your belief in who you are. Confidence is not about being perfect. It is not about never feeling fear or doubt. It is about refusing to let those things control you. It is about showing up, taking action, and backing yourself no matter what. The world will test you. It will challenge you. It will throw obstacles in your path to see if you truly believe in yourself. And most people will break under the pressure. They will shrink back. They will let fear win. But those who build unshakable confidence, they stand firm. They do not waver. They do not let external circumstances dictate their internal state. Because they know that confidence is not about the situation, it is about how they choose to respond. There will always be people who doubt you, who criticize you, who try to make you feel small. That is part of life. But confidence means not letting their words define you. It means understanding that their opinions are just that, opinions, not facts. It means recognizing that you are not here to be liked by everyone, that your worth is not dependent on anyone else's approval. When you have unshakable confidence, you do not seek permission, you do not wait for validation, you do not need anyone to tell you that you are enough. You know you are enough. And that knowing is what makes you powerful. Confidence is also about resilience. It is about knowing that no matter how many times you fall, you will get back up. It is about facing rejection, failure, setbacks, and still choosing to believe in yourself. Most people let failure destroy their confidence. They see one rejection as proof that they're not good enough. They let one setback convince them to quit. But those with real confidence, they use failure as fuel. They take every setback as a lesson. They understand that confidence is not about never falling, it is about always rising. One of the biggest mistakes people make is thinking they need to feel confident before they take action. They wait until they feel ready. They wait until they feel strong enough, smart enough, capable enough. But confidence doesn't come before action. It comes because of action. The only way to build confidence is to do the thing you are afraid to do, to step outside of your comfort zone, to take risks, to prove to yourself over and over again that you are capable. Confidence is a skill, and like any skill, it is developed through practice. If you want to develop unshakable confidence, you must stop seeking it from outside sources. You must stop waiting for others to tell you that you're good enough. You must stop basing your worth on what you have, what you achieve, or how others perceive you. True confidence is built from within. It is the result of knowing yourself, trusting yourself, and believing in yourself no matter what. It is refusing to let fear hold you back. It is understanding that nothing outside of you has the power to break you unless you allow it. Confidence is not arrogance. It is not about thinking you are better than anyone else. It is simply the unshakable belief that you are more than enough exactly as you are. It is knowing that you have what it takes to handle anything that comes your way. It is carrying yourself with strength, moving through life with certainty, and never allowing doubt to dictate your choices. The people who succeed in life, who achieve great things, who inspire others, are not the ones who never feel fear. They are the ones who feel the fear and take action anyway. Most people will never develop this level of confidence because they are too busy looking for it in the wrong places. They are too worried about what others think. They are too afraid of failing. They are too dependent on external validation. But those who truly commit to building confidence, they become unstoppable. Because once you develop an unshakable belief in yourself, nothing and no one can take that away from you. And that is the greatest power you will ever have.